person, you have the power to empower yourself through knowledge.
Okay.
And that is what I said from the beginning. Our message is education and empowerment,
Okay.
self-empowerment, how you can, as a person, empower yourself. How we can get to make sure we have a better health care in the district for the people, to make sure the single mothers can be able to stay on their feet, can have that confidence to know that they can start over, they can do it again, to have our women in the district putting their hands together, working together to achieve things. These are things we want to see. Uniting our district and making sure our district is fully represented at the parliament to create laws to benefit the people, to benefit the district, not just the district. For example, some of the things we would like to see implemented for the future, I will tell you. We want to see people, we want to see the House of Parliament implementing something we call support to schools for back to school. We could have for all government schools. Like every year you have a certain budget that pass, that you take copybooks, pencils, sharpeners, book bags to all the government schools, that you can be able to help those kids. Uniform. There's a budget put in place that for the government schools, they use a particular uniform, that the government responsible to supply uniform to the schools, that the kids will have uniform, clean uniform to go to school. Because sometimes you go on the campus, you see the children, their parents can barely even afford to buy them a shirt to wear to go to school. So these are things, it's not just going to only benefit District 10, but it's going to benefit all schools, all government schools within the Republic. So these are changes.
All of these things you're saying are very good. Why can you work with Honorable Koluba to make it work instead of you going against him? So you think you the only person that can change it, instead of working, bringing those ideas on the table so that you and Honorable Koluba can work towards it?
No, I'm sorry. It doesn't work that way. Everybody have their own way of leadership.
Okay.
Some people way of leadership, sometimes people are saying the right thing, but they don't know how to place
Maybe
it.
you want to characterize,
Yes.
I mean, tell me a little
I'm
bit
not
about
gonna,
your leader.
Yes.
Who you think he is?
I'm not going to do that for you. I know you know Koluba very well. I know you know who he is. I know you know the kind of person he is.
Are
I'm
you
not going
afraid
to
because
discuss him.
You always harsh on words?
Nope, not at all.
Okay.
I've been in the entertainment industry. I've been in the GSM sector, and words don't do anything. The highest thing words can do for you is just to hear it. Words don't do anything, especially when you are in a setting. For example, I'm a public figure. I've signed up for public insults, public criticism, as well as public praises. So these are things that don't move some of us. And I think every leader should have a thick skin to that. It's not that if someone just says something to you and then you just hold it. No, you should be very tolerant. So I'm not looking, like I said, I will make it very clear. I'm not looking at Yeke. I'm not here to discuss him or anyone else. So try not to make my interview more about Yeke, because you will not get anything out of me.
I understand that. Are you a member of any political party?
I'm a sedition and I remain a sedition.
Fine. Now you have Josephine Davis, who's is in the employ of the CDC-led government.
Okay.
And she's contesting in District 10.
Okay.
And you saying that you are a sedition, are you optimistic of being on the ballot for the CDC comes 2023?
No, I'm running as an independent candidate. I've made that clear on numerous occasions on my interview.
Okay.
I'm working with diverse people that have different understanding from the diverse backgrounds, and I intend to remain as an independent body.
Okay. Now, politics in Liberia need money, you know. You will not go because you're beautiful, or probably you're a public figure, or you can, speak well. Then people say, well, they're woman. But now, anything you want to do with politics, let's do it this way, right? You need money. You're not in government. You in the private space. How do you intend to raise fundings for your campaign?
We are raising fundings currently for our campaign.
By what means?
By networking.
Okay.
I think I travel a lot. I have my connections both in Liberia, out of the country, all over. I have political connections both in Liberia, out of the country. Like I said, I'm a seditious.
So,
It doesn't mean because I'm not going, I'm not interested going on my party
no,
ticket
I
meaning
know it means
I'm
that,
not, yes, definitely.
CDC is supporting you.
No, I did
undercover.
not say CDC is supporting me. I said I'm a seditious.
But they're going to give you a little bit of support, right?
I'm not saying anything of such. I'm just telling you I'm a seditious. I remain a seditious. Nothing going to change
in terms
that.
of support base, I think they will give you a little bit.
I'm not going to say anything
But
to
when they
that.
bring it, you're going to hold it.
I'm not going to say anything to that.
All right, now let's go. What kind of lawmaker you going to be if elected comes 2023?
A people person, making decisions with my people, involving my people in my decision-making process, making sure that we can communicate, opening room for dialogues with the people, like I've been doing since even before I declare my intentions.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is something that is very important because a lot of leaders, we see a lot of our leaders don't listen. A lot of our leaders feel that they can do it on their own. It's just about them when they are representing an entire district, over 33,000 people. They feel it's just all about them. No, it's not all about you. It's about the people. You are just a messenger being used to represent over 33,000 people. It's like 33,000 people say, okay, please, you are our spokesman.
Okay.
So whatever we decide, you go out there and you let the people know this is what we decide. So you cannot be the one just making all the decisions and think it goes down with the people.
Okay.
Yes. So and we hope that we can be able to make a lot of changes when we are at the parliament where that can benefit the young people, because to be honest with you, our young people are highly vulnerable. One, that's why you see most of our people think that selling their vote is the best way, because they feel that at that moment that $10 or $5 can do a lot for them. It's because of the economic crisis we are faced with in our country, the rate of poverty currently surrounding us. So people don't know the importance of the vote. So we intend to also teach our people that, to let you know that your vote is your future. When you sell your vote, you sell not just your future, you sell the future of your child, the generation to come. Whatever you decide in that ballot box is what you're going to get for the next 6 years.
Okay, now for me, I encourage women participation in politics. Tell us about your first 100 days in office. What going to be your focus at the House of Representatives?
Like I said, we are more focused on education. It's going to go back to our education sector. Okay. We're going to make sure that the fight is going to be to push all the private schools, all the public schools in the district to a high school level.
Why do you keep talking about education? Why you keep focus about education?
Our educational system is not the way it's supposed to be currently.
You used to say it's a mess.
No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not in a position to say that, and I don't think it's the best thing to say. So but I will just give you a common example. I jot this down on my way when I was coming. You see the resort that we have for national exams result for high school was very bad. A lot of people was getting angry, and I see a lot of people was speaking out their mind on social media. It come back to our current economic situation, right? We have young people going out there. Young people want to be educated. We don't have the facility to encourage them more. Most of the schools don't have a proper library where kids can go to sit and study. Most of the high schools don't have, especially public schools, there is no internet facility where you can go to do research, where you can get some of your assignment done. So people are not being educated to a certain level.
Why do you think it's
that they are
responsible?
It's because our educational system is not advancing. And in doing that, we need a particular law to focus on our educational system. Like I may mention, one of my posts advocating for the Ministry of education, to visit private schools, to make sure that there are fees regulations, because fees are being very high for private schools where you can actually get the proper education. The fees are high. How many parents can afford? Now Catholic school fees is over $700. So if a parent is making $150 a month, and that parent have 2 kids, how can they afford to send their child to a Catholic school that is supposed to pay $700 per child? So these are things that we are faced with. So in regulating that, the president is doing well by paying for the fees, national exam fees. He's doing well. Yes, of course. If parents were also paying that, they would feel it was going to be more terrible than it was now, because most of them did not pay for the kids when they were sitting for national exams. But in the process of that, the president is paying. But even with the president paying, is the president visiting the public schools? Is he seeing the facility that the kids are studying within? Is he seeing the blackboard? Is he seeing the chair, the environment? Where some classes you go to, water is leaking. The kids go to class, sometimes it's raining, and they cannot even study. There is no library. There is no facility where they can sit, they can study. There is no internet facility. There's a lot of things lacking. Okay, the kids are striving, they are trying, but it can get better if we focus and try to push our educational system to a better level. You go to UL, even at the university level, there is water coming in the classes. These are things that's happening.
Do you think all of these things that are happening it have a trickle-down effect on the well-being of citizens, and is at the result of legislation? Those people who think they are lawmakers and not, providing the necessary laws for citizens?
Of course, definitely. If I'm studying in an environment where I have to be sitting in chairs, or I have to be coming in and it's raining, I have to be looking for somewhere to sit and the water is splashing on me, that's an unwelcoming educational environment. Definitely it has a serious effect. In Liberia, we don't take things seriously. Emotionally, kids can be damaged. Mentally, kids can be damaged. We go to school, we have problems from whom? There is no one on the campus to even talk to. There is no counsel. Every school should have a counsel where you can ask the kid what's going on, what's happening, someone that the child can come to have a conversation with. These are things that should be put in place. When we have these kind of things put in place, the educational system will move from one point to another. We will upgrade little by little. There are no books to back up our educational systems. Kids have to just copy maybe one page or one sheet from the blackboard and go home and feed. That's all. There's no research done. So the mind is not being given the kind of fruit, educational fruit that it needs to grow, to be mentored, to put in a particular place where you can say, yes, as a young person, this person is strong enough to push themselves.
Now, moving to 2023, if you are not elected, what will be your next step?
We will continue our work.
You work with the lawmaker?
Whoever that is elected, we will work with you. We will continue our work. And definitely moving forward, we will see our next step.
Why can't it be now?
No, it won't be now. We are participating, and we're going to be contesting 2023.
We have Honorable Karishma Penhon?
Pelham.
Rad as our guest this morning, and she's a representative aspirant District 10 Montserrat County, going against the controversial Honorable Yeke Koluba. She's a female, and this program is live on KM Radio International, KM YouTube page. The guys there in Butor is relaying, in Sino is relaying this program on Butor Radio on 102.3 megahertz. And you can also join us if you want to by calling on 0775271672. 086449850. You're going to be live right here as we continue this conversation and discussing issues of national concern. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much.
Now let's jump in a little bit of national issues. On the overall, I want you to give me your clear, because your people in District 10 are listening to you. You say you have people from diverse political background, and I want you to give me a clear opinion, patriotic opinion on the proceeding of this government. What do you think? You think they need to be maintained, or there are some major lapses that will need another breed of leaders to move the country forward? But on the overall, in terms of education, like you are more focused on education. In terms of health, I mean, you have been involved into health assistance and security. Talk about it as we move to the election. We'll ask you some questions about the NDC. But tell me your own proceeding of the way you look at the way things going on in the country.
Okay, firstly, I would like to say that the president has been doing some amazing work when it comes to road development. Let me give a big hand applause to LEC, because we advocated a lot on social media for LEC.
The roll call, eh?
It was the roll call. We had roll call for over 6 months. It feels good sitting home for over 2-3 days and having LEC back to back. We want to say that the management of LEC is doing well. We should, when people are trying to make a change, we should give them their flowers. We hope that our praises will make you to go back to where you were. And we want to see more of what we are seeing. We want to be sure that we have 24-hour electricity for our people. And we hope that it's not just going to be just in Monrovia. We hope that it's spread out completely from here to RIA. And I think we have one of the major issues that I would like for the president to please look at moving forward. It has to do with the RIA highway road situation. Is a death trap.
Yeah.
It's, for me, I travel a lot. My safety matters, likewise others. And I will tell you for a fact, those that work with the airlines, their life at risk every single minute, because they drive every day from here to go to RIA and drive back the next morning. Every day, those that work with the airlines. I don't know about those that work at the airport, what's the management situation is like there, whether they're giving them lodging area or stuff. But it's bad for us to have our highway, our airport road this dark and bad at this point, where we have our government going for 5 years. I don't know who's the current advisor to the president, but that RIA highway road should be of high priority moving forward from this point. It should be something that should be on the president's agenda back to back, because this has to do with that airport road is actually our gateway, like the way we have the National Port Authority as our gateway, because that's how we have people flying into the country. That is like welcome to Liberia. We can have people coming in and that's their first welcome. It's really terrible. If we can have Lo-Fi electrify, the streets of Lo-Fi electrify with solar lights, we can also have the airport roads electrify with solar lights for now until LEC can fully install the lights for the airport road back to back. For the safety of the people, the safety of our people, because we cannot risk the life of international guests coming into the country. We cannot risk the life of international people coming into the country. We cannot risk the life of our people. I think it has gone so far, and the president has to take this as a very high priority. Secondly, it has to do with the airport management. I flew in 2 weeks back, or less than 2 weeks back. We had to walk from the plane because there were no airplane bus. Only one bus we have at the airport. One single bus for all the government officials or senators or representatives currently that are giving out buses. Please look at the airport. I will send this out directly to Honorable Sir Joseph. Please look at the airport. Some of those buses you brought, please make sure at least 2 of them goes to the airport, in a way of you contributing back to Liberia. Because we came in with people, international guests, and we had to walk under the rain. There was one bus that takes passenger from the plane down, was down, and it had some technical problem, and we had to walk under the rain. This is not welcoming. People coming in, they like Liberia is the only country that these things happen. Liberia is the only country that this is not what we want to see when we go out there. We see something far different in other people's country. This is not what we want to see. And I think Liberia is old enough for us to be having these problems. I think we probably have the wrong people in place that are supposed to be paying attention to these things. And I hope the president will take notes and he will focus on that.
And if you have those wrong people in place, what do you think the president should be doing?
He should be changing them, definitely. He should be changing them. You can have people in place and they are tarnishing your government. I told someone the other time, I said everything that is happening is going to have a backblast because this is President's turn. If his, for example, if his finance minister is not performing well, it comes back to him. If his foreign affairs minister is not performing well, it comes back to him. So everything that is done surrounding him come back to him. It's his legacy that is being destroyed or that is going to be destroyed.
If the president is doing well, like you said, with rules and the rest of it, and then individuals in the government are not doing well, you think the government is doing well?
There is no way the government can do 100% or even 60% well when we have a lot of the officials not doing well.
Okay. So it means now this government is not doing well.
The government is doing a little bit, but not equal to what we expected.
Not even 40%.
I won't give the government even 50 for now.
All right.
Because even our airport is still at a bad state. Okay. We have flight canceling every other time.
You are more focused on the airport because you're always in and out.
It's not about we always in. That's our gateway.
Okay.
The same way you have the port as the gateway, the airport is your gateway. It's not just the airport, the border points. Okay. Those are our gateways. That's how you have people coming into the country. How did you think 1990 was started? How did you think people started fighting each other? There is a way that people came in, right? Both if we cannot protect our airport, we cannot protect our border points, there is no security. Who wants to come into a country to invest in a country that every day another flight is canceling because we don't even have a proper roadway? Who wants to come into a country that when they come in to invest that they have to walk from the plane under the rain to go to where they have to get a passport check? Who wants to come into a country to invest that you have government officials being fully corrupt that they can tell you to your face when you come to do investment? Who wants to come to invest? Nobody will want to invest in a country like that.
So with all of these things happening as we move to this election, it means that this government should be not retained.
No, I won't say that because I don't see anybody else that is prepared to take over from President Weah right now.
You have Joseph Boakai.
I don't see.
You have Alex Kume.
No, I don't see anyone because if they cannot even manage a coalition, they cannot manage a country. If they cannot manage a coalition, I'm telling you, please, they cannot manage a country.
In terms of experience, Ambassador Boakai has been in government for over 48 years.
You can be in government for...
He knows how government should be.
No, if you can even be in government for... If he actually been in government for over 40 years, he knows the running. He should also knows that in leadership, you have to put your country first. If they were putting the country first, the coalition will still be standing. But because it's individual interest, is not the country.
You have the less of Tier 1 Gonglo, who's from the legal background.
You have, I'm being very clear here. You cannot have people that cannot maintain a coalition to run a country.
Tier 1 is not part of the coalition.
I will support George Weah comes 2023. Back. And the reason why I'm going to support him is because it's a good thing that we have the sanctions. Since it's a good thing we have the sanctions now. We have 3 people already been sanctioned. So maybe some of the things the president is not okay to do, maybe he think on a friendship level he cannot do it. There's more lists coming up. And the sanction list has an additional 20 persons' name on it or more. So it shouldn't be surprising. So by the time that list come out, a lot of the bar of fruits going to be out. And he will have the opportunity to place in new fruits. And I hope with that time, he will be able to put in the right people at the right places to make the right changes. I can tell you for a fact, I am going to support President Weah 2023. I'm not supporting someone else.
Yeah, you will support him because he will also support you in return.
It doesn't mean, no, I'm not supporting because he will support me.
That will understand.
No, I will not support him because he's supporting me. Let's be realistic. He has been trying.
You have pointed out some of the major lapses.
Yes.
Right? You have corrupt people in government. You have people who are not working in the interest of Liberians. And now you're telling us to support this president. It means that if we support this president, it will be the same thing for the next 6 years. Right?
No, if you are taking out the bad food like it has started, we have had 3 people already being moved. We have 20 listings coming before elections, and the president will have he will have a fresh platform where he can be able to put in new people, fresh breeds to make changes. If he's not going to do that and he intends to run it on a family basis, it will be left with the Liberian people to make the decision. At that point, we will make our decision.
The president is in the United States of America. He went to attend the UN General Assembly. What do you expect?
I expect him to talk about some of the progress. I don't expect him to talk about opposition's issues. I don't expect him to go there to throw shit on opposition's leaders. I expect him to speak directly on his progress. Because in every country, when you start to develop or when you start to do certain development, you will experience a bad economy because you are investing. You are not getting profit out. That's one. Secondly, he should talk more about his pending projects, funds that is needed to carry all these projects. He should build network. There's people going to be there from different countries, different leaders, different presidents. He should build network. For example, people from countries like Japan, some of the countries from Asia as well. He should be able to get some different allies as well to help him so that he can make the change that he wants to make.
You are an advocate. You've been, pointing out some of the lapses in terms of deaths, mysterious killing in the country, rapes, and the rest of it. Now, we move into this election. The issue of protestation have been on the increase. The issue of people dying with no results from investigators have been in the increase. I want you to tell me a little bit, give me your own standing on the issue of security in the country. Do you think it's working well?
Firstly, I may mention that when it comes to security issue, it's not fully balanced yet. Even from our border standpoints, both border standpoints, people are free to just walk in, walk out. So security still remain a serious issue. I'm not too sure how the payments with our national police is going. I don't know how they are being taken care of. So I can't 100% speak to the issue there, but I know that we still have a lot of our police on the streets asking for help daily, which is not supposed to be that way, because if they're well paid,
as if they are
yes, if they are well paid and they are taken care of, these things will not be happening on a daily basis. And I don't blame them because everybody has a family to take care of. If I'm not being paid or I'm getting paid little of nothing, if you are paying a police officer $100 or $175, even $200, that cannot take care of him and his family. Definitely, he was definitely come back on the street to find other means to sustain he and his family. So our entire security system is fully at risk. Secondly, when it comes to protesting, it's the right aspect. Our constitution is the right or every citizen to protest if they are not satisfied with how the government is proceeding or with certain things that is happening within the government. Okay. And it's our government right to protect the protesters, not to counter protesters, like what happened with the Judah 26 issue with the student unification, CDC Council of Pressure. Thank you. You cannot. I got angry a little bit because it's a bit hard for the president to say that he doesn't know the CDC Council of Pressure. It's not possible because they are actually part of CDC. They joined CDC. There was a program here at the party headquarters. There are photos. They have been advocating positively for this government. So how can you distance them and say they are not as to your knowledge? They have even gone to the church Fokekon. So they have attended a couple of services and all of that. They have been welcome. So you cannot say that they are not part. No, they are part, but you could have used them as a means to make a correction that you do not support violence in the country. That our Council of Patriots from the CDC angle, we will use them as one of our groups that have been supporting the government. We will use them as an example to say that we do not support violence. We are not going to encourage our people or anybody from our party to go and counter protesters, because that was terrible. What happened with the students? It was very, very bad. And let me send before I forget, the SUB will be celebrating the 52nd anniversary, and to every member of the Student Unification Party, I want to say a pre-52 anniversary to everyone. Yes, and we will celebrate in grand style. Definitely, I will be part of this celebration.
Moving to this election, the NDC is coming up with another new system. They're talking about the biometric system. And what's your take on it in terms of awareness, in terms of education, taking into consideration you have our mothers, our fathers who are in the rural part of the country? You
saw what I said when I said that almost all the high schools don't have internet access. People don't even know we have, let's say, 4 to 5 million till the census can confirm that, right? We have less than 1 million people using internet in the country that have access to internet.
What this means?
It means that we have 4 million people, 4 million of our population that don't even know what internet is. So when you say biometric,
it sounds big to them.
It sounds very big to them. What is it that our government, if we wanted to do about, it's in the interest of our people, because when you say biometric, definitely you cannot go to how do I say it, duplicate or do more voter registration cards behind the scenes, because it's a full system. Everybody will know how many person at this polling center, how many person at this polling center, or how many person from this polling center. So it's in the interest of a free and fair election, which I support. But then on the other hand,
you think it's timely?
It's not timely. Reason being, it's not timely. This is something that should have been planned 2 to 3 years back, where you have a full team for the 16 counties going in to talk to the people, to teach them, making sure that at least 2 to 3 schools in every county have free internet access, where people can be able to go there to maybe check the phones, know what it means to be on the internet, show the woman how she can get on Facebook, how she can use her internet, or how she can use WhatsApp to call her son in Monrovia. If she can get credit in her phone, she can ask for her internet on, she can still make a WhatsApp call. You know, those kind of things. You educate the people about these things, and you teach them, you let them know the meaning of the word that they are not familiar with when you say biometric.
What do you think now the NEC needs to do? What's your own call as an aspiring for the seat of District 10? You think the NEC should pull hot and keep it for the 2029 election?
No, I don't think
more education and have more awareness, so that the people in the rural part, you know, that even in Monrovia there are people here that are not glued to internet, right?
And voter registration starts from December. We are in September, October, November. We have 2 months. In 2 months, you cannot work that miracle. You cannot educate people within the 16 counties within 2 months period. And cutting off the word, as we want to educate our people, we want a free and fair process. So I don't know what's the implication. So I can't give a direct advice to that, but I can say that within the 2 months period, utilize these 2 months and have a full team out there to be able to educate our people back to back it will help us in the process than to just sit back without doing nothing. It's better to do something than to do nothing at all, than to say the time is already out and we can't do anything at this point.
Thank you so very kindly for passing. Finally, is there anything you wanted to touch on that we didn't talk about?
Not really. I think I spoke about everything I wanted to talk about. I spoke about the UN General Assembly where the president, about all the road connectivity he has done, and those plans that he had before he took power, the bridges, the overhead bridges he wanted to build, the city, the West Point, the area that he wanted to clear out, the entire West Point and build an entire city out there. And one of the major things that we are not looking at as Liberian is the sea erosion that is gradually taking over the entire Monrovia. Gradually taking over the entire. If you go to Mama Point, you will notice that the sea is almost close to the road. If you go to Conkertown Back Road, you will notice that the sea is almost close to the road. If you drive that side, the sea is almost close to the road. The entire single belt, where you have the big rocks placed on every angles of those areas, because we don't want a situation where we're going to be losing homes. Very soon we'll be losing car roads, and we better have roads anyway. And then we have to start looking for another area where we have to navigate and all of that. That's one major issue. Sea erosion is gradually taking over the entire single belt, the Conkertown belt, the entire Mama Point belt. Okay. So I hope the government can look into that, and the international community as well. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for passing this morning. She's Honorable Karishma Pennant-Red. She's the representative aspirant, one of the aspirants in District 10. Montserrat County, going against controversy. Yeke Kolwa. She almost said she won't talk anything about Yeke because she won't be here in contempt, and she won't no problem between she and me Yeke. But anyway, it's been a great interview. Thanks so very kindly for being there to all of our followers. We're hoping you can join us on tomorrow. Tomorrow again, we'll be having another female. We'll be having a great exchange because the participation of females in our politics is very, very encouraging. And so we're going to be having Madam Patricia Cooper, I think she's from District 5, as our guest on tomorrow. She join us here by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Thanks to all of our followers. Thanks to the guys there at Butua Radio. We're hoping you can join us again on tomorrow. Until tomorrow, we'll be back. I'm Imas Thomas Momo, bidding you a pleasant rest of today from Liberia. Bye-bye.
Nuku is contesting against poverty. He's contesting against underdevelopment.
So we have been involved in the community. The issue of, doing something, showing a footprint. We have actually been involved in the community doing things.
The whole issue about elections, they can't tell the people who are you, why you want a job.
Most of the major challenge in my GB, especially the young folks.
We want that tax to come with compensation.
Okay.
We empowered those young people with employment opportunities.
Okay.
For me, it was imperative because these were young people that were disenfranchised and marginalized in our society.
Even in the opposition, his political leader, Bernard Nair, zero disagreement with Costa because of that.
Settle with Honorable Cabinet Janet. We owe him